Good evening and welcome to Yarmouth Frame and Gallery's Gallery Conversations. I'm Elizabeth Newman and I am here tonight with Neil Wyrick. Neil moved out from the Oregon coast. Was it Oregon or was it?
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
All right, and to paint the architecture.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't move out specifically to do it, but we moved out here and it turned out it was like there was a lot of opportunities for painting the coast, architecture. I really love Edward Hopper, so I wanted to
Yeah, he's great.
move to Hopper country. That was one of my goals.
Had you visited out here before?
A couple of times. My wife's from Connecticut, so I visited
So you knew the coast and
Yeah.
had come up to Maine maybe for vacations and that kind of thing?
No, she worked here before, so yeah, it was kind of new, all new to me, but
Oh, that's nice.
it really opened up a lot of vistas for me as far as painting, because in Northwest I kind of painted like in a really somber kind of palette, and then when I moved out here, eventually I just started painting like the fall foliage, which they don't have out there.
I was going to say, I can't imagine you painting anything quiet. Your work is so bold. I mean, your brushes are just so confident. And we talk about that a lot when we're showing your work to prospective buyers in the gallery. And I mean, you've just got everything here. Can you tell me about this one in particular?
Yeah.
Is that the West End in Portland?
Yeah, it's like from the Western Prom looking out over Portland. I took some artistic license with it. Took out some of the freeways and stuff. But it's just amazing, the foliage. I mean, if you're not from here and you come here and you see this color, you're just like, astounded by it. So that's
pretty.
one of the things I wanted to capture in this painting. And I think the oranges and then the architecture too is part of it. So I really loved painting this one.
That one is really pretty, and you do a deliberate undercoat in orange. Do you do the whole canvas out in orange before you even begin?
Right. Yeah. So it kind of gives a little more oomph to the reds and the oranges and the yellows.
I see a lot of artists doing similar things, but with your work, you really let that come through in a lot of different places. I think that's one of your keynotes. Like in this one here, you can see it sort of in the trees here. Where were you when you painted that?
Well, most of them are from photographs, but this one's at Conway Lake in New Hampshire. It's a place where we go camping a lot. It's called the Cove Campground, and but it looks like anywhere in New England, basically.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you would be almost hard put to know whether it was ocean or lake, except for the calmness of the cove.
Architectural concreteness with the different dimensions and stuff. So the landscapes is kind of like.
I know these are really two very different pieces here. Very landscape and very industrial, really. There's not a tree in it. But
that one's in the Old Port, of course, in Portland. It's kind of a typical Portland scene.
Yeah, I really love your buildings. You have a specific way of putting the light in the windows that I find really attractive. I think a lot of people look at that, and you have an unusual way of like putting a dot of light or something somewhere that you wouldn't expect it, which is makes it very attractive. Say, for instance, like this down here. It's really nice. And you like your boats?
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, when I started to paint seascapes, I was thinking like, lobster boat paintings, I was thinking, I don't even want to really do the typical seascape. So I just started to paint like everything that was in the picture, from like, old rusty cans and these traps and everything, and just make it, realistic. And yet kind of played with the colors to make it a little bit more dramatic, played with the lighting a little bit on those. But yeah, that's a typical genre for me, these lobster boats, which I've been doing probably for the last few years.
So your process is done mostly in the studio?
Yeah.
From photographs
Right.
or memory and?
Yeah, mostly photographs.
Wow.
Blow them up and paint from that. But because it's hard to get, you know, I try to get like a certain time of day in each picture. And if you're sitting out there with your easel on location, the scene changes so rapidly that you really can't capture that kind of lighting.
Especially because you paint big too, so
Right.
you know, to go from,
And
it
the
would take a
easel will
while.
like blow over or something. It starts
And
raining.
anchor it down.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
how I do it.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add for us?
Just, you know, I mean, just glad to have the opportunity to talk about my work. Nobody's really interviewed me before, and you know, and I love displaying at this gallery.
Well, thank
It's really
you.
great and
We
encouraging.
really love having you. Your work is always a focal point and a conversational piece with
thanks.
almost anybody that comes in. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we hope you stop by again.